When you live in Perth and play AFL, it sort of becomes a bit of a bubble, and you really get caught up in it and consumed in it. And it's not until you step outside that you realise sort of what you're missing. And yeah, I love getting down here, but I do love what I do in Perth. Just going to pick up about 500 sheep from one place and take them to another place owned by the same farmers. I always joke that I'm sort of two different people. In Perth, I'm the footy player, and down here I'm just the guy I've always been. So when I get back here, I just put my work clothes on and just mould straight into who I am down here. All right, girls, time for dinner. Yeah, today was an easy day. It was good, nice and cruisy, but you do get some tough days. Some players like to go surfing and play other sports and hang out with their other friends, but it's great to have a grounding.
Right, back to work.
One of the most likeable blokes in the AFL, runner from Best and Fairest 2011, All-Australian nominee, 2011 road train driver, a rouseabout, jackaroo, helicopter pilot almost.
Don't know about the rouseabout, but yeah, most of the other ones, yeah.
So, Lake Grace, 4 hours out of Perth. That's where you grew up. Fyfe Transport is the family business. What age did you first get behind the wheel of a truck?
I think Dad had me and my brother driving when we were about 8. Just sort of steering, we couldn't quite reach the pedals, but as soon as we could get our licences, we sort of graduated as quick as we could.
I think we've got the life of Fyfe coming up. So the helicopter licence isn't far away.
Yeah, I'm halfway through that. I've got an exam next week on air law, so that's another tough one, but halfway through that one, yeah.
OK, let's get to football now. Saturday night football was at the Cattery, second game under lights, and the Dockers have been in amazing form. They've been strangling sides. The injuries, though, continued to mount up. Barlow and Mundy out of last night's game amongst all the other stars watching on. Inaccurate 11-19, the Cats, but a big total against the Dockers, 41 points in the end. Brock, your game.
Yeah, Freo probably made one of the toughest trips in football down to Geelong, and Geelong coming off a disappointing loss last week. We're obviously going to come out fired up, and we're able to start well and get a couple of goals through Hawkins and Bartel, and kept Freo goalless in the first quarter. But Freo, to their credit, came back in the second quarter and kicked 4 goals, and were right in the game at half time. As you can see, Clancy Pearce getting a nice goal there. Half time, Geelong must have said a few things to each other and came out pretty fired up, and were able to keep Freo scoreless and go inside forward 50 17 times, but wasted their opportunities to kick 2 goals 9. And then in the last quarter, it was a bit of an even battle, but the game was well and truly done by then. And as you can see, one of Geelong's younger players kicking a nice goal there. Freo are obviously still missing a lot of their good players, you know, Pav, Sandilands, Mundy, Barlow, so they're only got to help in their run to the finals. 3 things I learnt: Geelong are probably one of the best clubs at developing their younger players. They just come in game ready and perform well like their older players. 2, all players should be able to go overseas in their mid-season break like Jimmy Bartel did. His last 2 games have been nothing short of outstanding. And 3, you wouldn't want Ryan Crowley walking over to you at the start of any game. He's probably one of the best taggers in the AFL at the moment.
How much time do you see of Crowley in an intra-club game? Fyfe?
He hasn't actually come to me. A little bit in training, but no, he's a quality player and he gets the job done most weeks.
No, just on him, obviously as an opposition player and supporters, he's not overly liked, but as a teammate, I'm sure he's someone that you love to have in the side because he plays his role every week. Won the best and fairest last year, and I'm sure he might be on the way to winning another one this year, the way he's going about it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He's a ripper. We all really value the role he plays for the team internally, and we know he can be damaging as well. So he's an elite preparer, and we know whatever job he gets given, most of the time he'll get the job done.
Brock, how good was Alan Christensen? He's such a good player, and he gets a lot of balls in and under, and he's got class on the outside.
Yeah, another one of Geelong's young guns. He had 36 touches last night, and as you said, he can win his own ball and get in and under, but he's also got lightning pace, and he can get on the outside and really carve teams up with his spread and the way he gets forward and the way he uses the ball. So probably a breakout game for him.
Now, Daniel Pearce, how's he fitted in? Obviously, last night Barlow, Mundy are out, he seemed to step up, which was critical for you guys.
Yeah, he's been fantastic for us. He sort of complements Stephen Hill with that outside run that we get, and it allows us big body mids in Mundy, Barlow and myself to get to work. So he's a good user of the ball. We like to get the ball in his hands, and he usually finishes it well.
Stephen Hill would be wrapped, wouldn't he? Because it's usually him that gets the tag, but now I suppose opposition sides have got to figure out which one they're going to go with.
Yeah, that's right. It sort of makes a bit of a headache for opposition sides, and Hilly's really thriving from Daniel being there to help him out, and yeah, we really like the outside run that he gives us.
Now, Nat, you can jump in any time here, but generally we give it to players that have retired. Here's the match reviews that are likely to come out of this game. Joel Corey, sort of an interesting one on Daniel Pearce. Trip, not great. Dawson Simpson.
Throw that one
on
out.
Chris Mayne, Zach Dawson.
Yeah, I just think that one's interesting where the swinging arm come over. He initially probably missed him, but got him high in the end. But I think that second one we seen to be thrown out. Look, I like the hardness of the game, and we just got to be careful about throwing those little ones up. But I reckon most of those players will be okay.
The players' code remains strong, doesn't it? Poor Duffield, calf injury, subbed out. Is he going to miss, or you think he could come back?
He'll go for scans this week, and we'll do everything he can to get up, but they'll have a conservative approach with him.
And in came Viv, first game. I haven't seen a Viv for a while.
Yeah, great footy story. He's suffered a lot of adversity and setback with injury, and has waited a long time to get his opportunity, and really took it last night.
Right, tell us about the Swiss injury update. Is it true that we've got some seriously big names coming in next week? Tell us who you think will play out of this list next week.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind having Mundy, Barlow, Pavlich, Sandilands, Spur, Duffield. All of those would come back and be pretty handy. So
is that what you are hearing and believing? It's not just a hope. That's actually what's happening, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Aaron and Matthew have been putting some big performances in on the track, and I think it was line ball whether they played this week. So I think they'll be right for selection coming up.
Will they come straight back in, or do you reckon they'll make him go through the waffle?
Wouldn't mind seeing Matthew Pavlich playing.
He's only played 280 games, hasn't he? And next time All-Australian or something?
No doubt on that, is there?
Maybe sub rule. Maybe they might pull the green vest on, but
nothing wrong with a sub rule.
Sub specialist. Pavlich is actually allergic to that sort of material that the sub vest provides. Steve
fights a couple, spins out of trouble, right foot goal, got it. Brings it back into Fyfe, swings the axe handle and goals. And again, it's going to fall for Fyfe. And I reckon he's done enough. Fyfe, got a bend on this, got a nice bend on that. That's a goal. Fyfe, something out of nothing for the Dockers.
Fyfe to target this time. How's that for a crash? Super.
Fyfe's got it. Got a little bit of breathing space. Lovely left foot off the outside of the boot. That is a remarkable goal. Nate, the Knight, Fyfe.
That's the game day. Nat Fyfe is our guest. Some early vision of the career. How many kilos have you put on since game one?
Probably between 15 and 18 kilos.
And you're always a black boot wearer, which was uncommon. It used to be unusual to wear white. Then you were sort of standing out wearing black. Not anymore?
Well, I've always been black with Adidas. Thanks, Adidas. But now I wear the three stripes. They won't let me wear all black because they can't see them on the TV. So the three stripes have to stand out.
Adidas.com.au or something like that. Tell me, Ross Lyon, he's an amazing coach. He seemed last night to be a little sort of annoyed with some photographers. We've had enough. Yeah, Ross, what? Wait. Oh. iPhone's next door. People just taking photos of him.
Not the man you want to get on the wrong side of.
That's not Ross taking the iPhone away, by the way. Tell me, Docker's defence has changed remarkably under Ross. When he came, what was the message? Because the numbers speak for themselves.
Yeah, Ross brings a really highly accountable game plan. He keeps all the players and all the coaches and even himself highly accountable, and all the players have really got on board and bought into the game plan he's brought across, and it's really showing out this year.
Nat, obviously defence is so strong and it's important in the game of AFL now, especially at the top level. Have you got any concerns around your attack and ability to score a number of goals you need to win a game?
Yeah, it has been a focus for us in the mid-season review. We realised that we're stopping opposition scoring well, but we need to score more ourselves. So hopefully with the inclusion of some big names in Pavlich and Sandilands, that might help us score, but our midfield and small forwards do need to kick more goals.
Cans for you, Nat, before we let you go. Is it true that you've been spotted down at the local park in the pouring rain, kicking the footy to yourself, wearing in a new pair of Adidas football boots?
Simon Lloyd tell you that one, did
Yep.
he? Yeah. He loves bringing that story up at the club, and it gets me some votes.
But he was just driving past and he looked into the park. It was pouring with rain and there was one bloke in the park by himself, kicking a footy by himself, and it was...
Me, like most of Lloydie's stories, it's been beefed up a bit, but I'll take it.
That must run in the family, the beefed up stories with the Lloyds.
Nick Lower, ex-teammate of yours, tells me you do a good Ross Lyon impersonation. Are you willing to do that today, or is it a bit after a long shine?
No, on the back of yesterday, I think I'll probably keep that one in the bag.
Only after wins, is the rule.
Is it true you were studying aerodynamics? And if so, how do you take a hanger?
Well, I was. It didn't help me at all. Maybe ask Jeremy Howe. He knows how to do it.
We found out earlier, obviously, you've got your road train licence. What's the longest trip you've made?
Done the Nullarbor a couple of times.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty long.
How long does that take?
Couple of days.
It's not in hours, it's in days. Nat, great to have you on. Good luck for the rest of the year. Thanks, mate. Nat Fyfe, such a popular